Tremblay of InsightWithAnimals.com, here today with one of my own, Tyler, my 5.5-year-old male Chihuahua. And Tyler's been living with me probably about 1.5 to 2 years, and here today I'm just going to ask him some in-person animal communication session questions to just give you, the viewer, an idea of what a communication session looks like in person. And today I'm going to be asking him some questions about his early days in meeting me and his thoughts on that. And I have not previously asked him these questions, so I will be receiving it and voicing it out loud verbatim based on what I hear. So the first question I did want to ask is, so how did you feel about meeting me for the first time there in the foster home? He says, you felt like a very nice person, he says from the start. He admits that he liked my energy. He also says that I thought you were going to do more with me, like get on the ground, get in the grass, and play with me. He says, but you didn't. You sat in the chair and you talked to the lady. The lady he's referring to is the previous foster who he was with. Anything more you want to say on that? He says, no, I'm done. And so the second question, how did you feel about leaving the foster in order to begin our 2-week trial together in my home? He says he didn't understand that he was leaving the fosterer right away. He also tells me that when I got into your car, I knew we were going for a ride, and I like car rides. Okay. Shows me this image of him being in the passenger seat and being very excited, which he certainly was in the real moment. Tell me more about that. You know, he says that when I went with you, I didn't know where you were taking me. And then you sat down and you explained it to me. You let me know I was going with you. I didn't know when I was going to see the prior fosterer again. I liked her very much, but I knew I needed a home. I'd been with her a long time, would have been happy enough to stay. And he indicates that she didn't want me. And what really was, you know, the situation was that the foster wanted to adopt him out into a home so he could have full attention. So that's really what that was about. Okay, so question number 3. Did you understand that I actually requested of the rescue a 2-week trial so that you and I could get to know each other? He admits at the time he didn't understand that. He wasn't paying too much attention to that. He was paying attention to the cookies on the table. So he's showing me an image of dessert that was, offered between myself, him, and the foster. He says I didn't get any. No, because those were people treats, people cookies. Okay. Next question. All right, so what do you think makes you and me a good match? Because obviously we've been together for a while. He says you like me and I like you very much. He says there's love there as well. He shows me an image of digging deep into a hole and asking, what does this image mean, please? He says that it represents the depth of our relationship, which has grown over time. He says there is a nurturing quality, he says, that I offer you. I'm cat-like in some ways. So I'm going to ask him a follow-up question here. Cat-like in what ways specifically? He says I'm calm and quiet like a cat, and you like those qualities. And yes, viewers, I do like those qualities. Any other offers regarding that question? He says nope. Okay. In what way do you believe you contribute to my life? He says in so many ways. I help you teach your classes, which he certainly does. What else? He says I keep your feet warm at night. Okay. And what else? He says that I'm your snuggle buddy. And sometimes I have competition with one of the others. He's referencing Callie, another dog in the home. He says, but oftentimes I get my needs met. I get my mom time. Okay. And so I'm going to ask him the final question. In what ways do I contribute to you in your nurturing areas of life? He says you give me everything. He says that you give me food, you give me shelter. He says, but it's much more than that. And he shows me an image of a bunch of flowers being held in his hand, and he's giving them to me when I ask, what is this image about, please? He says it's the idea of beauty. You give me beauty in my life. And I'm going to ask him the follow-up question, in what way do I give you beauty? He says everything is beautiful. I'm warm, I'm snuggled, I'm held, I'm loved. He's just giving me an array of pictures, actually, of beautiful objects. What does this mean, please? He says I have beauty inside and out, in my life and outside of it. He says everything is very comfy, cozy for me in my life. That's what I'm trying to get across. The beauty, he says, is more about an ease in life. I have an ease in life. You offer me that. Oh, the food is good too. And I like more treats. I would like more treats. I like the ones that I get now, but I would like more of them. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and thank Tyler for his time and energy in talking with us today. And all of you out there, love your pets and have a great day.